If I decide that I've been in that boat.
Okay, get out the boat. Get back on this boat.
No, I had a job.
And you quit.
And no, I didn't. I resigned.
That's quitting.
It's not quitting. Quitting is I can't do the job. Resigning is I give my job back to you. I don't want it no more. No, that's the difference. I have no problem with somebody quitting the job.
So, because it was killing you.
It's
So
killing
why
me.
did you apply to the same job again?
Let's begin now.
Got my first job at Comcast. Mm-hmm. You was charging me $300 a month. Okay, what were you doing with that $300?
You got some daggone trust issues.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do. I'm going to tell you something. You can't.
Y'all was in there shopping together.
Do not get married.
Y'all was in there shopping together.
Do not get married.
Well, I'm Mike. This is my beautiful mom, Linda.
Hey, y'all.
Welcome back to another episode of the Mike and His Mom Show. I am your host,
Whoa.
Mike Banks. This is my beautiful mom in the middle, and my sister to the far left, Shannon Sinead. We are celebrating my mom's birthday. Happy birthday, Mom.
Thank you. Thank you.
You gotta set the record straight sometimes for those.
Who don't know they play.
Yeah.
So that's you.
No.
Okay, all right, go ahead. Go ahead.
Come late and direct. No.
Okay.
Happy birthday. Everybody wish my
Thank
mom a happy birthday in the comments. Hit a like, share, subscribe, do all that good stuff.
Thank you.
How's it feel? One more year around the sun. How's it feel?
It feels amazing. Great. I'm excited.
What are you excited for, actually?
I'm excited about life. I'm excited to still be here. I'm excited that I am having a great time living and enjoying life. I'm just excited that things are changing and getting better.
What is it about life that you enjoy?
Living.
Oh, that was deep. Oh, that was really.
Yeah. I mean, it's living, learning, experiencing new things, meeting new people, hanging out. Like for my birthday, we went to see the Shin Young production, and I always wanted to see that for a couple of years, and I never did it. So then this year, I got the whole family together, and we went. And the great part about it, we was all dressed up. It was nice. How did you feel about being dressed up, hanging out together?
Excuse me. I enjoyed it, the dressing up part. Getting dressed up and going out is something that I like to do. I was dozing off a little bit during the performances.
That was a lot.
Yeah, it was.
It was a lot, but you know what I didn't like about it? I didn't like where I was at the Hippodrome. I think if it was somewhere else, that it might, in a bigger stage, it would be more people, it would seem more real and more live, and I didn't like at the Hippodrome.
You felt like you were in like a high school auditorium?
No, elementary. No, it wasn't even a cut in half auditorium.
Oh, cut in half.
Yeah, because it was just a small stage, and the Hippodrome is why they
Well, we
fixed
were
it.
right up front though too. We were right up front.
Still, the stage is small. Up front or not. Up front, we could have had a big orchestra stage. That stage wasn't.
I actually like the Hippodrome. I've never been there before. That's my first time there. I like it.
Okay, the seats was like on top of each other, but anyway, how did you enjoy it? Shan.
I didn't feel like how you felt. I've been at the Hippodrome. I forgot how it looked on the inside. I felt like their production was fine. I think that they had enough people on the stage to accommodate the stage size, so it wasn't like this little teeny stage.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I was all right with that, but I didn't like once you start to watch the play, you start to understand what they are. They have stories.
Right.
So the stories are actual, like kind of like fables based on their religious practices. And once I realized that, I was like, no.
Okay, that's it. I ain't got to come back.
All right. It was like propaganda, like trying to push their religious beliefs on us through music.
That's what you got from that?
Yeah, I did. And it made me think that we need to stop being so afraid to talk about Jesus when they out here making whole musical productions to talk about Dafu. Let me see. When they're trying to talk about, what are they called? Falun, something like that. It was even it was banned from their own government in China. Something like they stopped them from practicing it because of evil. Like it was going to influence evil amongst the citizens. And I don't know where it is now, but the Obama administration donated, I think, $1.5 million to it.
You got all of that from this 2 hours of.
Yeah, I got it from when they said it. It was one of the productions they had mentioned the father.
Well, because I thought they were also, because I didn't realize they were telling stories.
Yeah. Well, you were asleep. You were dreaming about your own story.
Yeah, I thought they were just dancing.
No, they were telling stories.
But some of the stories about from what I gather, about some of the hardships that they experienced.
Yeah, it's about
in the
hardships
country
too.
So I didn't catch the religious part that they were pushing, but it's fine.
No, they said it.
Oh, okay, I didn't.
Yeah.
I'm not. Okay.
Yeah, did you not see the last one when I'm assuming that was the person they come
At the
down.
end.
Yeah.
Yeah, at the
And
end.
he stops the water from coming and flooding everybody.
That was their guard.
That's like their little savior. You ain't noticed
I
that?
missed that. Yeah, I missed
I mean, you wouldn't getting your rest on.
Well, he wasn't feeling well that day.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. So you might have been a
I
little
was applaud you for
disoriented.
still coming out and hanging with us.
Well, I had a good time. Good time being out with family. Getting dressed up, like I said. What I want to do though for Mom's birthday, Shannon, if you would join me. I want to.
Let's give it a book now.
Just sit right here. If we could give the audience one memory that we have of Mother, to give them an idea of who she is.
Oh. Okay.
Go ahead.
Oh, me first? Okay.
Yeah. Ladies first.
My mother is unafraid to fight.
That's the memory?
What's the memory?
What happened?
I have several memories. But it's always for a sound cause. She's just not fighting. And it's not always physical fighting. It's just like lifting up her voice and standing on what she believes is unfair, or just seeking out justice, in whatever the situation is. One story was when I always tell this story about how I come home from school. I was in elementary school, and I come home from school, and I tell her that I didn't eat because the lunch lady threw away my food, right? So she said,
Do you remember this?
Do you remember?
Yeah.
You do? And she said, I'll be up there, right? Now, I don't even know why little Shannon told her this. And I realized, why did I tell her this? I remember oh no, after I told her, because I knew what that meant. I knew she was coming, and I knew it was going to be a problem. So I'm in lunch, and I just keep staring at the door waiting, and I couldn't even eat lunch that day. They didn't even touch my lunch, but I couldn't eat because I was filled with so much anxiety because I knew she was coming. And all I remember is looking over, and I see her power walking with a vengeance, she's going, and she comes over to me, and Shannon, where's she at? And I'm like, and she went up there and pushed the little lady. You remember that?
I don't remember pushing the little lady.
My people say that you threw her in the trash can. She was a short little older one. But ever since then, this just came to me that lady was always nice to me ever since. Since, she never was not nice to me, but she gave her the business. I will never forget that. But I knew, why did I say anything?
What grade were you in?
I don't know. I was a little kid.
She shouldn't throw your food away.
She shouldn't have, but I just know that when she come, it is not no. Hey, I just would like to talk to you for a second.
Well, I like that name, I think.
You know what? So the other day, Bryce is sitting in the car, and I have her in me, but I tame it. Because I have your vivaciousness, but I'm going to hit you. I know I'm going to hit you. I'm not coming in your face and saying anything and walking away. I'm slapping you. So a lot of times I don't deal with confrontation because I'm a physical person. So Bryce is in the car trying to get herself together to drive. Somebody is sitting in front, they waiting. And so the lady got impatient and said, "Are y'all moving out the parking space?" And she was like, "Yes, 1 second." And then you hear the girl say, "Well, get the blank out the, what you sitting in this space for?" You can hear, right?
Right.
So I'm sitting in, this is when we was in the car that day.
Okay.
So I'm sitting in the back seat in Josh's car, and I just took my hand, I was about to open up the door and get out the car, and I stopped myself. "Bryce, what'd she say?" This Josh. And I said, "Oh, good." He said, did she just say that?" "Yeah, she said it." "I'm going to just sit here." Here he go opening the door, getting out. I said, "Josh, just stop. Stop. You know what I mean?" So not only am I like her, I know that when I get out, I know what's about to happen. Because if this lady say something, now you're talking about my child. Who are you talking to? You know what I mean? In my heart, I want to say, ma'am, she's a student driver. Can you just give us a minute? You know what I mean? But if she say something smart, I might throw something at a car. I just know that's how I am. So
that's not good.
I know it's not.
You have to tame that down.
Yeah.
Oh my, please.
Oh well, I'm just saying. In the day's time, back.
Well, she tamed it.
Okay, yeah, I'm saying.
It was tamed.
Okay, all right.
I think I'm the same way though. Like
what? Like to.
No, like if we're gonna fight, we're gonna fight.
Right.
I'm not gonna be like. I'm not talking about anything.
Yeah.
You're either gonna fight or we're not.
Yeah.
So
you know how to control yourself. You're very controlled in it.
I'm very controlled too.
I'm not.
Yeah, I think I'm very controlled.
Okay, what's your memory?
But that's my memory of you, and it's still with you. It's still you to this day. But it's one of them great qualities.
One of my memories is it's kind of similar.
Go ahead.
She's always want to throw herself in the mix. Like
oh, that's where you get it from. Want to be in the mix?
No, not that mix though. Like a solutionist, if you will. Is that a word? Solutionist?
What's your solution
It's
oriented?
one word. You're solution oriented. I like solutionist.
I like it. It's a ghost word.
Let's look it up.
So when I was in middle school, I used to catch the bus to school. And this day, because the bus would either stop here or stop at the top of the block. This day, though, I decided to get off at the top of the block. I don't know why, I just did. And instead of walking down the street, now that I'm thinking about it, this must have been God. Instead of walking down, I walked around. Because I was walking, me and Winnie were probably just walking and talking. Because Winnie lived on the side. And I'm by myself and I'm walking down the block. At this point, Winnie probably went in the house. And I see Mother just haul-assing. Excuse my French.
That's how it be. It's like how your fingers be. It be just like, how did she even move that fast? It's like turbo speed. And I just remember sitting there in the cafeteria like. It's so like she is coming. It is like a little tornado. Like. Well, where did you see her? It is so, like, it is so real. It is
she
so
was running
true.
so.
I was just telling Melisha how one day I was over here and Mikey was a teenager and I said he was acting up and stuff and doing whatever and I said we just sitting here talking out of nowhere. She just flew to the corner. I said like Ma, you just be like It's so funny.
She was running so fast.
Where were you at?
I was in the middle of. I was kind of at the top of the block, but
what block? This block?
Whitlock.
Oh.
Coming around.
Why
and you was going down the side street.
Well, how could you see me?
I wasn't at the. It's like in the middle of the top, if you will, like where it curves.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'm right there, and I see her running, and I'm like, Ma! Like, where you? Like, so I take off running. And she thought, I guess what was at the other end of the bus stop down here was fighting. I don't know if she thought it was me, or not, but she was coming to break up the fight. And yeah, that's probably the there's no lesson in that. It's just a funny story that I have of Mother.
She's a peacemaker.
Yeah, a peacemaker.
The fighting peacemaker.
I don't like seeing people fight.
Yeah.
But today you can't break up fights no more.
No.
So happy birthday, Mom.
Happy birthday.
Hope our stories made you smile and laugh. I do want to talk about a few things today, and these conversations actually kind of fall in line with it. But one of them, one of my Facebook friends, shout out to her, posted a picture. My child was acting up in school, and I guess she was off for work that day or something. And this teacher must have, I don't know how she found out. I don't know the back end. But she said she got this kind of parent. You mess up in school, then I'm coming to school with you. And she took a picture of the little girl in class. She was with the little girl all day, going to class with her and stuff. That made my heart just warm. Like, to
see a parent.
like step up like that.
Go the extra mile.
Yeah, go the extra mile. And it made me think about the times where mother used to do that to me. So as parents in the room, I don't have any kids. I'll keep saying that until I have some. As parents in the room, well, I'll start with you because I don't think your kids were as troubling as I. I think I admire that from my friend's Facebook post, but I think I was convicted about how much it had to happen for me. So as the parent who was parenting a troubling child, who you always had to go up to the school and leave work early and do that kind of stuff, how did that make you feel? Looking back at it.
Well, looking back at it, I tell you what I'm glad of. I'm glad that I pushed through. I'm glad that I prayed. I'm glad that I believed. I'm glad that I showed up, because there may be some parents that don't show up and the child just falls off the deep end. What if I hadn't showed up? What if I didn't push? What if I just said, you know what? I'm just going to, you want to act like that? Forget it. What if I had turned a blind eye to it? But to show up continually. I remember I still have letters from the teachers today. You know, it's important that a mom or a parent shows up for their children. Thank you for always showing up for your child. I have so many letters from teachers that I've kept over the years, because it makes it. One letter says, even as they grow older, you always have to be a part of their life. So it's not just at the young age, it's always through their life. So, you know, while, you know, maybe some of the things that I wish didn't happen, but I don't take from me being there, like actually being there. I'm glad that I showed up.
Okay,
I'm glad
well, how?
Do you mean like, and what was she like irritated?
Yeah,
or
well, not
was
that,
it frustrating?
but frustrating, irritating, because you're doing it by yourself. You have two. I don't think you were here though.
Not when
Not
you
when I was
was
in middle
really
school,
running
probably
amok.
not. Yeah, you have another child to take care of, like, and all your energy is being exerted, because I can say it so flippantly now where you got to leave work, but it ain't just easy to just keep leaving work to.
Oh yeah, I got to leave work every day.
Well, it was frequent enough.
Yeah, but I mean, I did what I had to do. What was the work gonna do?
Oh, I don't know.
It ain't bad. It is what it is. You do what you got to do.
Yeah.
I mean, I did what I felt the need to, and I mean, God saw fit. I kept my job. I did what I had to do. You're a much better person. You know what I'm saying? I mean, things worked out. So while maybe it could have been another way, it was the way that was designed for our life. I mean, I'm not saying that act up. Do your best not to act up. But because we went through them challenges, was it frustrating at times? Yes, it was frustrating. You know, however, I did, and it wasn't just me by myself. I had people in my life. You know, and after we got to the church, you know, we had the church family. We had people in our lives that helped me, that I could call on and talk to, and that would pray me through and all that kind of stuff. So it wasn't just me by myself.
You got a community.
Yeah, and as they say, it takes a community to raise. I mean, come on.
And I think though, from the person that's misbehaving, like from my perspective, like now I'm being older, that's part of the reason why I'm afraid to have a child or a son, if you will, because.
Well, I would pray about it. I wouldn't be afraid. Pray that
yeah,
they'll
but
be
I
like
won't.
you.
Yeah, but I won't go through all that.
But you don't have to go through all that.
Right, but I'm just saying.
Like it's too much trouble.
Yeah, like because like you said, you don't have to step up, and.
But you're speaking something over your life, over your child's life that might not be.
I agree, but I think that's part of the reason why I'm afraid to just have a son in general. I don't want him to be.
My two sons didn't have that issue.
You think they were like? I mean.
Mickey could fail. He never did, but let's say he failed every single class. He has such a wonderful personality. The first thing that people say, I just want to tell you, we wished all the children were like Timothy. Like I would come into the office, just the office ladies, you know, and they'd be like, "You're Timothy's mom? Oh, we just wish that he was just like all kids were like him. He's so respectful. He's so this." So you don't have to have Josh wasn't like in the way you're describing, like behavior problems like that. He had stuff with him like all kids can.
You mean Little Josh?
Little Josh, yeah. Like his thing was that he was so, you know how he's so outspoken and he has these profound thoughts. He would just write all these inappropriate, profound essays. Like, talk about using the N-word in the essays, and the teachers would be like, we can tell that he really wants to express himself, but we don't think that these words are necessary to say. Right. So, like, it was just like, but no, so my point is that you don't have to have a child that has, like, those type of behavioral problems.
Yeah.
And so even in you saying that, like, when you walk into the office and Timmy is, like, the talk of the town in a good way, that happened for me on the opposite end, though. Yeah. Like, they used to say, she might as well go and get a desk in here because she up here so much, like, in the office.
But they never, okay, so even when you had concerns, we had concerns with you, they never, I just remember one principal. The teachers always thought highly of you. He can do better. It was just that one principal that I remember that wanted to really go after you. But even though you had concerns or whatever you was doing, they always said, and because of the type of mother that you are, he's going, like, they would say, and then you remember all the good grades you would get, good in music and all that stuff. You would.
Oh yeah, well that was the disconnect. Especially when I got in high school, like, because my grades was good, or good enough. I would say that they were good enough.
So they knew they could be better. It's just your behavior that was getting in the way.
I was just in the mix, like.
And the mix is what you want to be in. What's the mix? What?
I was either fighting.
But I'm saying, what is so good about being in the mix? Because you're talking about the mixie today. What's so good about being in the mixie? I mean, the mixie can take away from you. Yeah. And you should see that. So if you like today's time.
It's the mix though.
But the mix can stay if the mix is going to cause me to lose when I'm coming after. Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. So think about the mixie today. It's going to be mixie. Anyway.
It does though.
He wanted to go out. Go ahead.
What? Please, you felt the need.
He wanted to go out the other day and says, it was Sunday. It was Super Bowl Sunday. It was the same day we went to the Shenyang, and he was gonna go out, and he wasn't feeling good. And I said, you should. I said this long text. You should stay home or something. No, I didn't say you stay home. I asked him how serious was he about what we doing. He's like, yeah. I said you should be that serious about your health and all that stuff. He said, you're such the mother. I'm not going out.
Oh, that was good.
No mixing.
Well, yeah. You got to be disciplined with the mix, but the mix I'm talking about now is different than the mix I'm doing in middle school and high school.
But any mix is still.
I got you. But
I don't even know how we got there.
Long story short, seeing that post, it almost convicted me in a way to where I wanted to apologize.
I wanted to.
You should repent.
I repented.
To who?
The Lord. I apologize to you.
Have you changed your ways?
Yeah, have you changed your ways? Because your
behavior. I'm so sorry, Ma. Your behavior could be the same, but it's just showed up different.
Right. So maybe that's why God is convicting you.
No, it wasn't. No, it's not that. It's because of my school days. That's what.
No, it could really be like
you said you already apologized.
Yeah. So it could be that like, well, you're still kind of doing the same thing to your mother, but it's showing up differently.
Or he could be doing the same kind of thing to his life.
And
showing up
differently.
Because you still love the mix. So, no, seriously.
That's true.
Yeah.
But that's not what it is.
That's not what it is.
Okay, we're not saying what it is, but we're just giving you, when you go to sleep at night and the Lord be turning you around, you're like, mixy, whatever, you know what it is.
Well, Shannon, you had 5. So did you have any behavior issues with the girls?
Yeah.
When you were running to the school?
Yeah, and I would leave work.
As
soon as they would call, I would just leave. I would leave for anything.
How did it make you feel?
I was frustrated. I was frustrated because like it was just like, what are you doing? Like what in the world? You know what I'm saying? And sometimes, but it wasn't really like the biggest issue was just not doing schoolwork. It was just not doing the schoolwork. It wasn't like school fighting or stuff like that. It was like you just sitting in class not doing anything.
Right.
Like I was just like flabbergasted. And I just personally, and probably because I have so many, I always think about this with you, Ma, because I feel like she just was like a Tasmanian. You had so much energy. I'm like, why don't I have that same stamina? And I'm like, maybe because I have so many, and then I have so many that are at the same age group.
Right,
so I'm juggling like similar issues back to back. Like this person got the same issue as this one, and this one is this one. So I'm like overwhelmed, like I'm overstimulated. Where I'm 8 years older than you. You know what I'm saying? And Malik was very like a mild, very mild mannered child. So you're really her only the only child is really like she has to pour that type of energy into, if that makes sense. But so I was honestly just like irritated. Like, come on, like why are you sitting in school just not doing your work? So I had to come up with a solution because I didn't want her to fail. You know what I mean? I didn't want her to have to not, be successful. And that's when we decided to do the homeschool. Because I was like, you know what? Maybe this learning environment isn't conducive to who she is as a person. Like, and I wasn't trying to give her an excuse, a way out, but homeschooling is an option. What is it really a bad idea?
Right.
And when I did it, like if it don't work, she can go. Like if I threaten her sometimes, then like I'll send you back to school. Right?
Can you do that?
Yeah, I can send her back.
For real?
Yeah, I can send her back if I want to.
After you graduated already?
I can send her back into the school system. She's no longer a part of the school system. So she's out of the school system. I can put.
But if you put her back in the school system, she'll be behind.
She could test her way, and they would see where she would fall. Now it's an empty threat. I'm not really. I just kind of playfully threat, but
I didn't know you could do that.
Yeah, I can do that. I can put it back in. So like I said, if it didn't work, like at one point, even after she was finished, it was like I noticed that she works, but she could be kind of like lazy around the house. I said, no, you can't do that. Like, so I make her get up and do stuff. I'm looking currently now. I was asking you about your friend, like things where she can volunteer, outside of the home when she's not working and stuff. Because I still require her to be social and active, know. So no, I was annoyed. I was.
It kind of goes back to what you said about me about why I was afraid, because you were a good student. So, but one of your daughters turned out to be not a good student, but she had issues that you did not have, is what I mean.
Right.
And it goes back to me saying I'm afraid.
I look at that as a behavior problem, though. Don't you mind? Like you just in class not doing your work.
I don't know if it's a behavioral problem, if it's just.
I look at it as disrespect. Like, how you just not gonna do
your
work?
But because does she have a behavioral problem? You might. What's the reason behind it?
Right.
I did that in college.
That's good. I mean, I don't want to conclude.
And you know what else helped me too?
What?
I mean, not helped me, but I remember my mother, God rest her soul. I remember she said something. Cause my brother, my only brother, he was in the mixed scene. He was he was bad, right? I mean, he was not bad. I don't want to say bad, but he has his issues. And my mother used to say, he wasn't no good. And I remember her telling me one day, I'm glad I only had one son, no good son, instead of having two. Yeah, I remember her telling me that. And at that moment, when I always believed in my kids before, but that was like, what? Oh, we gonna definitely not speak that over my children, right? And that definitely ain't gonna happen. So no matter what happened in my life, I was gonna fight and push and pray for the best for my family. Period.
Because your child, and I was just like encouraging somebody with their kid, and I'm like even down to like mental health issues. Like I'm like, to a degree, we have to not. We can't support all of those ideas because it's like you're basically handicapping them based off of something that we really need to, and I think it's a fight, right, to work them into a routine. You know what I'm saying? But it's like we can't.
Is it a fight or a challenge?
Well, that's what I meant. Like it's challenging, and I don't think the fight is with the children. I think the fight is with us.
We got to keep pushing.
Yeah, because it's Mikey. Right. It is tiresome.
Yeah.
Like it's tiresome, and it's like the things that a child is doing. You looking at them like, what? Why are you doing this? You know what I'm saying? Like your child has common sense. Like you're choosing to do something that is like out of pocket. So I think the fight is like.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Within us to keep pushing because I know that, like you said, if I'd have gave up on what if I'd have just said, you know what, forget that.
Right.
But just to keep pushing because I know at the end of the road it's going to be better.
Right.
I know that it's going to turn around.
So wait, so you think that? Okay, no. Let me ask you. What do you think the shift was?
What?
In me, like where?
I can tell you what God said to me one day. When I was praying. Because my first thing, so the household that I grew up in was always arguing and fussing and cussing and whatever. And I've always said I didn't want to have that and for my family, and I didn't want to be that person. But I remember going to God and praying, like, change my kids. And I remember him telling me clear as day, when you change, I'll change them. And I'm like, oh, what's wrong with me? Your mouth, the way you're talking and this and that, fussing and all the time, cussing and stuff. So I had to change how I was acting, how I was chastising you, so to speak, or disciplining you. You know, it couldn't be the way my mother and father was doing us, you know, as a kid. And, you know, I had to change. I had to learn how to speak differently. And did I get it right all the time? No, and I remember that. And I'm like, okay. And I remember gradually changing, gradually getting better. I remember one day we was going to leave out, and you turned around like you wanted to hit me. And I'm like, what? Oh, man. And I just grabbed you and hugged you, you know, and I was like, instead of hitting them, you know.
That was the Holy Spirit.
Right,
Yeah.
you know, and just praying. I would go and anoint your room. I would anoint every piece of clothes. I would anoint the pillars. I would pray in the room. I would do all kinds of stuff, you know, anoint the door, everything, and just kept believing for a change. And even with Ashley, one of our good friends, you remember Ashley, she's passed now, but just believing and stuff, and then calling our pastor from our church and some of the deacons and you know, people that have helped me throughout the years, but just believing and just me changing and just being better, just like, hey, you know, and one day it just changed.
So as the parent, do you think you showing up made the difference? Like, do you think if you would have not showed up, I wouldn't have changed? Like if you wasn't running to the school, or you think I would?
I know showing up made the difference, because and I can't say 100%, because some people still make it at the end.
They make their own right turn.
Right. Some people still make it at the end. But where would you have been today? Nobody can say that.
Yeah.
But I did show up, and I do believe that helped. I mean, I got the letters and stuff. I got God prompting me. You know, I don't.
But you know what I'm about to say, because it was like what we were talking about before. Just her showing up made the school, the team, want to keep supporting, because they knew that they had a parent that is backing them and what's going on.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So you know, she's building the community just by showing up. Like, she's the first line of defense, and if she ain't going to show up, I got other students to worry about.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So just her doing it, they're like, okay, we got this. We know that he's supported at home, so we're going to fall in line and continue to support him.
Okay.
All right.
Anything else?
Yeah, stay in a good mixie.
Yeah,
it's called the mix, not the mixie.
Well, you don't want to be saying mixie. You say
mixie.
Meaning, when you get in the mix, you get mixy. That's mixy, but.
So the mixy is the verb.
Correct.
Well, stay out the mix.
I don't be in the mix like that no more. But the mix, you grew up in the mix.
What's the mix?
Being outside, having a good time, chilling with some friends. You just said 3 weeks ago how you couldn't go to Hollywood because you would have gotten the mix because you was already in the mix here. So
I wouldn't like how you be in the mix.
Okay, we all have our own individual mixes, but. To the parents out there, to the parents out there, keep showing up.
Or show up if you're not.
Yeah, the ones that aren't showing up, start showing up.
If you're not, because believe it or not, let me ask you this question. So let's go back to this before we close out. Let's go back to, how do you feel about the parents showing up? What do you think? Because we never even touched on that. What do you think? What are your thoughts about me showing up back then, and what if you look back at it now, what's your take on it? What was your take on it then?
I think in the moment I wasn't paying attention to it until this is one day that stands out to me. And I got into a fight. I was in 7th grade, and a guy kept picking on me. And one day I just had enough. And he either said something to me or pushed me or whatever the case is. And I sat down in my seat, I approached him, and we just started fighting. And I was in school suspension for the day, and they called you, of course. And the day was over. They called me out to the office because my mother was there. But I was playing around in the hallway prior to me getting to the office. I was just chilling, lollygagging. And then as I was approaching the office, I was still talking with my friends. His name was Arthur. I remember it like it was yesterday. And I was playing and laughing with him, and you come out the door immediately, like, get your ass in the car, ain't nothing funny. but I could see like the hurt, like the tiredness, if you will, on your face. And I don't want to get emotional about it, but it's just moments. I'm sure there were many more moments like that, but it was at that moment now I'm thinking back on it, I can see where it's taking a toll.
Yeah.
Like it's like, bro, like I'm tired.
Right.
And in those moments, and then many more, like you don't have, I don't know if it's good, bad, or indifferent, but the conviction doesn't set in until you see the effect it has or had after the fact. Like, and even though my behavior gradually changed, that's why I asked you, where do you think the shift came from? Because even in high school, I still had some struggle, but it wasn't as intense
In middle school.
as the school. But me failing,
You didn't fail.
I failed ninth grade. Yeah, I failed ninth grade.
I thought you. Well, did
No,
you?
I failed ninth grade. So even though I wasn't fighting and stuff in high school in the beginning, me failing put a strain because now I got to go to night school every day. So that's, even though she ain't run up to the school,
You got to still run up to the
she
school.
got to run to school every day. I'm going from Western one day to Milford the next. Like, it's a lot. And I guess what I'm trying to say in a roundabout way is just pay attention.
Yeah. You remember when the police locked you up at school?
At night school?
I don't know. And I was running. And I was
Were you running?
No, I was in the police. You was in the police car, and I was riding behind him.
Oh yeah. He broke my fronts. Yeah. I remember that. Yeah. I got locked up a lot. I got locked up a few times in school though.
I remember one time we was out, and you were a whole adult, and he was about to fight because somebody was like trying to talk to me.
For me?
Yes, you. We was up at.
Pages.
Yeah, and
my
I'm like,
birthday party.
stop! And I'm like, all dragging across. Then when we was at the middle school, when we was fighting that guy, and I'm trying to break it up these two big boys, and I'm trying to break it up big.
Yeah.
I'm all slammed against the locker.
I remember that.
Locker.
I was trying to walk away though.
Yeah, and then I remember going up to the mall having to get him out the little mall jail.
Yeah, I'm sorry, y'all.
You were.
he had a traumatic childhood.
He had a traumatic childhood.
You was traumatized. We was traumatized.
I'm getting beat up by a 13-year-old.
Or eating the chips in the store.
Eating the chips in the store.
Yeah, I ain't eat them.
I was
crumbs around your face.
Oh, yeah, so.
Or throwing a toy at me out Golden Ring Mall.
Yeah, you told me about that. I don't remember that one.
We never throw another toy.
But yeah, like I said, in a roundabout way, I guess it's because you're a kid. So do you really expect kids to pay attention to the behavior and how?
Yeah, I do.
I mean, you do, but.
Yes.
I do expect it.
Yeah. Because they gotta learn.
But is their mind developed at that point the way so they can pay attention?
Yeah, kids are intelligent.
Yeah, they're not stupid.
Look, it's a baby coming out talking one day.
So
Kids are intelligent.
So what was mine?
You just were defiant.
Defiant.
Yeah, I mean,
some people will push their limits. You know what I'm saying? And
I'm gonna see how far I can go.
But is that intentional?
did you intend to get up and go do what you did? Like, did you not?
Right, but I'm not thinking about, what I mean by is I'm not thinking about
the consequences.
Not mine, but hers.
Effect on everybody else.
Right, I'm not thinking about that as the kid. I'm just moving.
I don't think I thought about the effect on anybody. I just knew that I wasn't supposed to do X, Y, or Z. I understand what you're saying, and I don't want to hurt. I had a friend who said, I would always do these things for my mother because I knew she was tired and I knew she wanted. And I was like, I was not that child.
Mm-hmm.
I just knew it wasn't. But it's not a lack of consideration. I'm just listening to what she say do. She said do this. I'm doing it. I wasn't just like, let me go look and. I wasn't doing that.
And sometimes we say because there's not a father figure in the house, the boys are different and stuff like that. I don't know. I just think it's the person, and I don't know. They grow out of it or they don't, But what I can say is that I thank God that everybody turned out good. I mean, because it could have been different. It could have been a lot different. So you just thank God that it turned out to be better, a lot better. Seriously. So all the parents out there and all the children out there, do right by your parents. Parents, do right by your children, Hey.
And you know what? I want to add to that, and don't let the overwhelm of the child talking back and all that kind of stuff. Like some people, like, you know what? I don't even care. Like that's, you just like kind of give up. Like I don't care. Who cares? Like do what you want to do. And it's like, if you have to turn around and walk away from them, I said what I said, walk away. You know what I mean? Then walk away, but like stand on business. Like stand on it. What you said is what you said. Don't break it. Don't bend to their children. And my thing is like, I will not have no child telling me how to live and making me do what they want. You're a child. Right. You don't know better. Right. To your point. You don't. There's a lot of things. You're doing what you want to do. You're acting out, but you don't know what's best for you. I do. I'm not worried about your feelings. A lot of times, like I just don't, and not saying that it doesn't hurt as a parent that I'm not giving you something, but I know I have to be, I have to know that I know better. I know better than you. I'm not worried about you crying. I'm not worried about what your friends are doing. I don't know. I'm not worried about what you have. I don't care about that kind of stuff. I know better than you. Mm-hmm. And so, yeah, to those, because I don't think parents don't love their children. I think they're overwhelmed. A lot of people are struggling. They don't have broken homes. There's a lot of things that are going on inside of households, and it's just a lot to deal with when you have children who are just unruly. It's a lot. So it's easy to, like, you know what, do whatever you want. So just don't give up. Well, it's not. It's not. Because then you'll be dealing with something worse.
Right. Don't give up on your children. Mm-hmm. And most children, you know, y'all are smart, y'all are intelligent, beautiful, you're wise, you know. Every opportunity I get to see, even when I'm out in the store, I saw a young guy yesterday, and he was just strolling, you know, pushing the cart, and I said, smile. And he smiled. I said, you are so handsome, and he just really smiled. I mean, if I see somebody, like, you know, just to give them an encouraging word, because you never know. You never know.
They might not even hear that.
Right.
Yeah. You know, we had I'll end it here. We had a meeting at the Bible study, and Bishop asked, well, no, he came to the school once and asked me, well, why am I acting up? And I told him then my answer was, you know, make the time go by faster.
Never you told us that.
Yeah.
And he asked me again in front of you, and I kind of said the same thing. He was like, what, bro? Like, shut up. So,
right.
It don't make sense. Yeah, shut up. You need the time go by faster.
Time is still moving the same time.
Right, yeah.
So kids behave, parents show up, because living life is the longest thing you'll ever do in the shortest amount of time, and we only get one. So whatever your dreams, goals, and ambitions are, please go out there and get the job done. And while you're doing that, remember his name is Jesus Christ, not Tom Cruise, because there's no such thing as Mission Impossible. And we can do all things through Christ that strengthens us. I am Mike Banks. This is my mom. Happy birthday, Mom.
Thank you.
And that was my sister, Shannon Sine.
My daughter.
And we'll see you next time on the Mike and his Mom show. Till then, let's continue to engage, subscribe.
Subscribe.
Should have been acting up in
and
school.
Share.
Subscribe, and share. We'll see you guys next time.
And comment. Oh, yeah, don't forget the comments.
Yeah.